What up? What up? What up? What's going on? All right, let's flow. Let's flow. Let's talk. Let's talk girl talk. So, you know, when I went to Cartagena the second time, I was dating this chick. So, the second time we hung out, you know what I'm saying? Like we having some drinks, we sitting on like an outdoor seating area in the hotel. So, I ask her, I'm like, yo, what do you want to do? Um, you know what I'm saying? That I'm here for a few days. And she goes, oh, you let me know what you want to do, and then I'll let you know if I want to do that. And obviously that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? That's a red flag. That's when like you look at somebody and be like, everything about you is all wrong. You look good, but that's just some super narcissistic, I'm not really feeling you like that, or just the mindset of that chick, that person's not for you and she wasn't for me. We end up breaking up later on, and it was a learning experience for me. So now my mantra, and I had this other girl, so I was working at this call center in Atlanta, chilling with one of my coworkers, and she's like, yeah, I just kind of like want to chill. Was like, oh, yeah, what you want to do? Where you want to go for lunch? And she was just like, yo, so I just want to chill with you. You know what I'm saying? So like my mantra is, and keep this in mind, I might say this shit twice. When you ask a girl, oh yeah, let's just say you want to be on some like, oh yeah, what you trying to do? What you trying to do this weekend? You know, her reply should be, I don't care what we do. I just want to do it with you. You know what I'm saying? I just want to hang with you. You know what I'm saying? So let me say that one time for the people in the back. If you ask somebody, yo, let's say, what you want to do this weekend? Like, the response should be, if somebody really feeling you, they really into you, be like, it really don't matter. I just want to hang with you. And that was just my thoughts. And dudes, and I guess we can kind of go into um how to tell if a chick is an attention whore or if a chick is really into you. So like I feel like attention seekers, they'll touch you, you know what I'm saying? They'll, let's say for example, you give a chick a high five. She might like grab your hand and hold it for like a few seconds until you kind of let go. An attention whore, she would like initiate, oh, let's hang out, let's go get ice cream. But it's or, let's go get drinks. But it's never gonna be like no set date. You know what I'm saying? So they'll kind of set you up to string you along. Like attention seeker, attention whore would be like, oh, here's my number, here's my information. Like, oh, let's exchange contact, wherever that may be on social media, which is always a red flag. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll text you and stuff like that. And then the third tell that you're dealing with an attention seeker is she'll talk sexual. Whether that she might talk about, oh, this is my favorite porn star, or she might be like, oh yeah, when I got my nipples pierced, the piercing artist was like, oh, you got beautiful titties. A chick might be like, oh yeah, I need to buy some new lingerie. A chick might be like, yo, she might make sexual innuendos. Let's just say y'all having breakfast and she was like, yeah, I woke up thinking about sausage and laugh. Or she'll be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying, I really like giving head, you know what I'm saying? Like some girls be like, yo, I need to get my pussy ate, but I just like sucking it off, sucking it Johnson. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So they'll talk sexual kind of like, here and there and shit like that. But they'll get you to the point where you're like, damn, this chick always talking about something. Like I want to see what it is. And like me and my mans, we always got the saying go, if a chick talk and she brag about, you know what I'm saying, how she is in bed, is usually like average at best. You know what I'm saying? Like usually chicks that really got that torch, she gonna put it on you. They got that swag like, yo, I'm gonna show you, I'm not gonna really tell you type thing. So it's this chick in Charlotte. I was dealing with, and she would talk crazy and shit like that, and it was alright, you know what I mean? It wasn't nothing, special, but she would talk kind of sexual and shit like that. But she actually, you know what I'm saying? She made it do what it do. Like when I met this chick, I guess between her and her girlfriend, she had a reputation of me mugging, but like I was, I guess, her type. So when she see me for the first time, she kind of looked, when a girl give you that gaze and they're like, yo, if this dude don't say no crazy, stupid, goofy shit, I'm gonna give him the punani. And she did, you know what I'm saying? But you always gotta necessarily watch out for the chicks who talk crazy, sexual, and then the chicks who fucking talk about their dicks, their different escapades. You know what I'm saying? So watch out for the attention seekers and stuff like that. So I'm always, thinking about the difference between, should you play the field, do your player thing, because you know what I'm saying, this is a travel channel, you know what I'm saying, we like to, travel, whether it's Colombia, Brazil, Canada, Europe, Africa, Thailand, and have some fun, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, like, I was in a 4-year relationship, so after that, like, I'm not one to get into a serious relationship quickly, because I was in a toxic relationship for a long time. That was a microcosm that I kind of end. So I was in this relationship that, the chick, had her master's, and she became a social worker, and you know what I'm saying, she was cool with the fam, aka my mom liked her and shit. So like, on paper, and then how it appeared, it looked good on the outside, you know what I'm saying? But then, we arguing here and there and having the same different tit for tats. And, what I mean? It got to the point where I didn't really want to talk to her on the phone. We would argue like once every 2 weeks, what I mean? Essentially about nothing. I felt like she wasn't really the best communicator, even though she loved to talk, and that she would be like, we would just have like bad arguments and stuff like that. She brought the temper out of me and all that. So like when I had dated other girls, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying, I don't even be raise my voice at nobody else. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't really be on that time. So I learned that you definitely gotta stay away from narcissists. And I don't want to generalize girls with daddy issues, but girls that I've dated who had two parents in our household, I felt that they are just easier to get along with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't be super enough the toxic. And obviously, no one's perfect, but like, avoid chicks that are narcissists like the plague. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of the guys who got YouTube channels, they're not going to Colombia because they're in relationships and shit like that. And like, and I understand that. I always like to say, I get that boyfriend dick, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes one of the issues that a lot of people have when you're just like having fun in different countries is that you don't necessarily have that strong connection. Like, if it's different, if you hook up with somebody, and even if like the sex is super 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 fucking good, if like they hook up with a lot of dudes, or y'all not having breakfast or doing fun activities, you know what I'm saying, it's just sex, and there's no emotion attached. Like, that's cool for the short term, but sometimes, like, at a point, I feel like I had to make that transition from, being a jet setter, and then, saying, fucking with the street girls and shit like that, the 304s, to getting somebody who, what I'm saying, that's attractive, that I connect with, what I'm saying, that we have similar sense of humor, and then we can like listen to music, whether we kind of going out to eat or cooking or whatever, beach, traveling, and just enjoying each other's companies, having good conversation, and just vibing, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I have a, good time by myself, but also I kind of want to still, share my time with like the right person with the right vibe, and still build with the right person. So like I kind of like, even though we put like passport bro in like the title and stuff like that, and I don't have a problem with myself or anybody else going to travel to have fun, to meet different girls, to hook up and stuff like that. But I'm not one of the people who are like, oh, every woman in the United States, they want a delusional, they want a super rich guy. And obviously we know that there are girls that are like that. It's certain girls that only date guys that's like, 6'3" and up, and you gotta be of the, actor, rapper, athlete type thing, CEO type thing. And it's like one of those things where it's like certain girls will go on 6 dates, and dudes is flying her to different states, taking her to Drake concerts, Michelin restaurants, and she's still single. Like, she's dating all these high value rich guys that she's attracted to, but then when it comes to actually being in a committed relationship, it just doesn't work out. And that person, like, they're the common denominator of the problem, but they think it's everybody else. And you got to avoid that. But like, there's still 360 million people in the United States. So when it comes to dating, it's always going to be the needle in the haystack, trying to find the diamond in the rough. It's going to be like, you got to find somebody who is down to earth, that you connect with, that has good energy, not somebody who's super stuck up, somebody who's kind, who's caring, who's considerate, somebody with good communication skills, and obviously somebody who has realistic expectations. So I have girls who I worked with from the city. I grew up in Western New York. They might be in a big city. They might have a good job. They might be in tech, and they're in their 30s, and then they're still single. And I'm talking about attractive chicks. We're not, some of the guys are like, oh, girls in their 30s and 40s hit the wall. And like, obviously guys who live in, Atlanta and Charlotte, Dallas, Houston, New York City, DC, they see fine 40-year-old women, 50-year-old women, 30-year-old women, and stuff like that. But some of the girls who you may still be connect with on social media, they're single, and you be like, damn, like, you got to change your ways. And it's like, I know some girls who came from two parents households. Parents are still married, and they just can't stay in a solid healthy relationship to save their life, and they don't understand that they are the problem. But with all that being said, I'm not saying that you have to date in any specific city or country, but I still would like, there's girls in the United States that you can date, because a lot of YouTubers, they like to bash, oh, United States is a cesspool, there's no good girls. And like, shout out to like Ron Wells and everybody who doesn't work remote, who goes to an office, who interacts with people on a daily basis. Let's just say, for example, you work in a building with a lot of different companies, or you work for a company with a big office, and you get to interact with a number of different people on a day-to-day. That there's some people that are super toxic. They don't want to say good morning. They're always on some prissy demon time type thing. But then you connect with certain people that's still attractive, and that's just like good human beings that say good morning. And it's not even just the polite greeting. It's like, oh, how are you doing today? How's it going? What are you doing this weekend? You know what I mean? Like, they're really trying to have a connection. You know what I mean? They really have good energy. They have a good spirit, and it's not phony. You know what I'm saying? So always focus on good people, and the people who have good energy and stuff like that, and always be a good person yourself, and obviously work on yourself. Make sure the finances are in order, and make sure that you're healthy, and make sure that you give eye contact, and you're nice to those who are nice to you. You know what I mean? Don't be a pushover. Don't let anybody, walk all over you. Stand up for yourself. Don't let anyone bully you or lie to you, and all the things that happen in the world. Because some people are evil. Some people, they do slick shit, whether it's coworkers, boss, or just people you see, public transit or whoever it may be. But I still think that there are, good women who are in the United States and even in big cities. And sometimes, obviously, people who live in LA and New York, it's kind of hard to date, but always have the mentality, are everyone's not for you, but you will, what I'm saying, attract and connect with um a like-minded individual, just a cool chick who, what I'm saying, who is down to earth and realistic and not necessarily trying to do the social media relationship. They're not, oh, I'm trying to be like Blueface and Krishan Michelle, whatever her name is, or I'm not trying to be whatever celebrity couple of the moment and whatnot. But if you find somebody out of the country who you connect with, whether that's in South Africa or Kenya or Eastern Europe or South America, that's cool too. And let's also segue into obviously sometimes the grass is not greener, what I'm saying, overseas. I've met, girls in Thailand and hooked up with Thai chicks who are, what I'm saying, they just as bad as American chicks. Like, once they don't get their way, they got an attitude, what I'm saying? Or they're not the most posh or classy, individuals, or they're really just on some transactional. I want to suck the resources out of you. And then obviously, I've been to Colombia a few times, and I'm dating, girls, and whether it was Barranquilla, Medellin, Cartagena, Cali, and sometimes that's not always greener. Sometimes in Colombia, at least a lot of the women on like social media or whatever, whether that's Instagram or Tinder, like the Colombian chicks are fucking on demon time as well. And like sometimes they're rude. This all about the money as well. So I'm always trying to look on both sides of the pendulum. I always like to think that um the mean, or when you're talking about virtue, right? The virtue is the mean between access and efficiency, right? I'm trying to be in the middle of the pendulum, right? I don't want to be super left or super right. So I'm not saying that you can't find a girl who is of an upper ilk or is classy in Colombia, but I'm not saying that you will find that either. I'm not saying that you can't find it. I'm not saying that you will find it. I'm saying you might, but I know guys who've married Colombian girls, some guys are, in what appears to be healthy relationships, and some guys had horror stories. So you just kind of got to be careful and always look out for the red flags. And I try to give each person that I interact with a fair shake and try not to have any generalizations based off of bad experience. So, for example, I work with this girl from Sao Paulo, Brazil, and I felt like she was a little racist because she was like, "Oh, you want to go to Rio? You're gonna get robbed." Like, chick, like you are from Sao Paulo. Like, no one has ever gotten robbed in Sao Paulo. There's no crime in Sao Paulo and stuff like that. So, just because like I had not a bad experience with one of my coworkers. I wasn't trying to date her or whatever, but we just was like, we worked in the same team, and she was from Brazil. And, what I'm saying? I haven't been to Brazil yet, but met a lot of cool guys from Brazil. Want to go one day. And it was just like she kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I have a coworker from somewhere in the Caribbean, and this bitch, she is pure evil. But what I'm saying, I met a lot of women that in New York that was from Trinidad, that was like super cool, what I mean, that I kind of vibe with and click with. So I try not to let one person from one city or one area or one country ruin it. During the summertime, I had worked with this chick from Ghana, and she just was a fucking bitch. Like, her parents moved here when she was like 14, and every word out of her mouth is, "I don't trust anything in this country. I don't like Americans, da da da," and all that. And she just be on something. I'm like, go back to Ghana. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to have that one experience ruin it, because I may or may not want to go to Ghana, but I try not to have, oh, I might date a Dominican chick and then man that goes south, like, oh yeah, all Dominican chicks or whatever like that. Or I date a black chick and it be like, oh, it went south. I don't want to date black chicks. I try not to be of that mindset and try to take every interaction and every new person, because I don't want one bad interaction to make every next interaction a microcosm of the previous interaction. Because you might have dated a chick where she always want to talk about her ex, and that's a red flag, and now the new relationship has the same issues as the past relationship, which is some goofy shit, you know what I'm saying? So I won't keep this video super long. That just was on my mind, and I will upload this shit ASAP. Yo, one love, players.